Have you ever said, there ought to be a law? I hate the way they do that. We should do things differently than what we're doing. If you've ever said anything like that something should be done, some change to law, policy, regulation, or practice, well, you're making a proposal argument, as defined in Chapter 12 of Everything's an Argument. The proposal essay is an opportunity for you to make a case that something needs to be changed. Now, there are a couple things I want to get off the board right away. The proposal, or as I call it oftentimes, and I kind of use the terms interchangeably, the policy argument, because we do proposals for all of our papers, which are short and brief, and I don't want to get confused with that. So the policy argument, as I like to call it, the policy argument argues for change. So if you want to say, I want to lower the drinking age, right? That's a change. Where you say, okay, I want to lower the drinking age to 18. And here's my reasons why I think we should do that. Okay, that would be a proposal argument or a policy argument, depending on how you like to think of it. If you say we should keep the drinking age at 21, you're not making a proposal argument because that's what it is already. Okay, so a key factor to remember is that a proposal argument is an argument for change, not to endorse some existing law, regulation, policy, or practice. Okay, so it's all about change. Secondly, I don't want what I like to call the feel-goods, right? Parents should spend more time with their kids. People shouldn't spend so much time on their cell phones. How are you going to make that happen? There is no law that you can pass that will affect that, okay? So those kind of pie-in-the-sky type proposals that really are not doable are not a good idea. So if you're talking about trying to change people's behavior, it has to be something that could be put into law. So if you say people should eat more healthy, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to make that happen? If you're going to say, well, I'm just going to educate people, that's a DOA, dead on arrival. Okay? What you need to do is you need to find some concrete, specific, doable courses of action. Also, policy should not involve grotesque violations of constitutional and human rights. So in other words, you can't say, well, everybody should have a license before they become a parent. Really? Come on. That is not happening. Okay? Or something that is so prohibitively expensive, it's completely impractical. Every student should have their own personal tutor provided by public expense. Are you kidding me? Have you even thought about what that would involve? So, it needs to be realistic. It needs to be doable. Now, that being said, there's one thing it doesn't have to do. It doesn't have to be unique to you. In other words, I'm not expecting you to solve the problems of world hunger all by yourself. Bring peace to the Middle East all by yourself. There are very smart people who spend a lot of time and energy and do a lot of research on their own who come up with ideas of how things might be improved depending on what topic you're talking about. And I do not mind at all if you piggyback on some of those ideas as long as you document where those ideas came from. So if you say, hey, there's this person, there's this woman who wrote this plan for increasing productivity of food production in desert areas or areas where it's been hard to grow, plants, And I think that's a great idea. And so you can do that. You can use that. You can follow up on that. Now, typically, most of my students who write good papers don't necessarily just only follow what's already out there. They may synthesize, that is, bring together ideas from different sources. They may come across something of their own, just as they're thinking about the topic, right? But basically speaking, you want to say, okay, here's what we want to do. It needs to be concrete, specific, and doable course of action. You can support with research, right? It's grounded in facts. Ethos and pathos are also part of the equation, though, right? The authority of your sources, and of course, in many cases, like world hunger, disease, immigration, etc., 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 there's very much a human element that needs to be accounted for also. So these are the things that I want you to be thinking about. Please read chapter 12 carefully. Then look over the sample essay. I have created a video to go along with that sample essay so that there's more, shall we say, talk. And then there's also just a way to access the sample essay just by itself so you can look at it again on your own and look at different parts on your own. But I would really encourage you to watch the sample essay video as well.